2019 has officially come to an end, and not only is 2020 bringing us a new year, but we are entering into a new decade, which is really exciting. But I am sure we can all say that 2019 brought us both ups and downs, as life normally does. But for some actors, the last decade happened to be an end to their career, and we are going to take a look at some of them in today's countdown list. I'm your host, Joss Bedard. Welcome back to Top 10 Beyond the Screen. You can hang out with us outside of YouTube. Our Instagram links are down below, and stick around to the end so you don't miss out on our comment features. But let's jump in. Here is our top 10 list of actors who destroyed their careers the last decade. Beginning the countdown list at number 10 is Charlie Sheen. Between his struggle with drugs, violent behavior, and overdoses, his career technically should have ended 2 decades ago. He was once the highest paid actor, making $1.8 million an episode for his role on 2.5 Men. He was on the show from 2003 to 2011, and many would say that he was basically the face of the entire franchise. But in 2011, he lost it all when he was fired from the show for his erratic behavior and feud with the creator Chuck Lorre. Warner Brothers released a statement saying he was fired due to his, I quote, dangerously self-destructive conduct. And since then, it's just been a downward spiral ever since. His IMDb resume is pretty bare, and he is still recovering from years of substance abuse, which he has recently been open about and says that he is currently sober. So he might be able to turn it around? Not really sure. Next up at number 9 is Thomas Gibson, known for being a longtime star on CBS's hit show Criminal Minds. He took on the role of Aaron Hotchner from 2005 to 2016, and it probably would have been longer than that if he didn't get himself fired. He was axed from the show in August 2016 after he got into an altercation with one of the show's executive producers. But his termination was a long time coming. CBS had issues with him in the past, all related to his anger. In 2010, he was ordered to take anger management classes after allegedly punching an assistant director in the face. So when he got into an argument on set and kicked a producer, it was basically a lost straw. They sent him home immediately that day and originally just gave him a 2-week suspension, which later turned into a permanent termination. Taking on the number 8 spot is LOUGHLIN. The actress was just one of many parents who got caught in a nationwide college admissions scandal in 2019, but her consequence was losing her entire career. The scandal was known as Operation Varsity Blues. People would pay a scam mastermind named William Singer. Lori was accused of paying $500,000 to get her daughters Olivia and Isabella into the University of Southern California as crew recruits, even though they never participated in the rowing sport before. The actress immediately lost everything. She was fired from the Hallmark Channel and from Netflix, which are both networks that held her entire career. She reprised her iconic role as Aunt Becky for the hit Netflix TV series Fuller House, and was also working on a Hallmark series called When Calls the Heart. She lost both, and we haven't seen her in anything ever since. Sliding into number 7 is Disney star Orlando Brown, who made a name for himself for his time on That's So Raven. Throughout the years, we've seen some of our favorite Disney stars go off the deep end once they leave the network, but I don't think any of us expected it from Orlando. In the last decade, he had troubles with the law and got arrested on multiple different occasions. He was first arrested in 2016 and charged with misdemeanor, domestic battery, obstruction of justice, and drug possession with intent to sell. Then later in January 2018, he was arrested again and charged with battery, resisting a police officer, and possession of controlled substance. He had a total of 4 different arrests throughout 2018, and one of them was caught on tape when bounty hunters busted into a house and arrested him in his underwear. He was sentenced to 45 days in jail and ended up getting released on October 1st, 2019. This is what Disney does to you guys. Well, Disney and drugs. Probably the drugs more than the Disney. Moving on to number 6, we have Jeffrey Jones. He first rose to fame in the 80s when he played the principal in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. From there, he had a successful acting career, which first took a big hit back in November of 2002. He was arrested on suspicion that he hired a 14-year-old boy to pose for inappropriate pictures. He pleaded no contest and didn't receive any jail time, but he did get 5 years probation and was ordered to register as a sex offender. Surprisingly, he was able to have an acting career after all of that. He starred in the HBO show Deadwood for a few years and booked some smaller movie roles. But in 2010, his career came to an official official end after he got arrested for failing to update his California sex offender status. It is something that all offenders are required to do each year. He received 3 more years of probation plus 250 hours of community service, which is probably the most work he's done in years. No offense, man. Actually, I don't even care if you're offended. You're a pervert. Halfway through at number 5 is Jason Mitchell. The up-and-coming actor lost everything after being accused of inappropriate behavior with a woman. The 32-year-old is best known for playing Eazy-E in the 2015 movie Straight Outta Compton. But in 2019, female co-stars came forward and accused him of sexual harassment, even Tiffany Boone, who played his on-screen girlfriend. Because of the harassment, she actually asked production to release her from her contract so that she could pursue other opportunities. As for Jason, he was fired from the 3rd season of Showtime's series called The Chi, and was also let go by Netflix for his role on Desperados. It was later announced that he was dropped by his manager and agent as well. Alright guys, we are at number 4 with Josh Duggar. Or Duggar, I don't even know. It's hard to call him an actor because he's known for being on reality TV shows, but nowadays, all reality shows are fake, so he could very well be considered an actor. His career took off with his family reality show 19 Kids and Counting. Sweet Jesus, that is a lot of kids. But the show was cancelled in 2015 after news broke that he had molested multiple underage girls, including 4 of his sisters, when he was in his teens. The allegations claim that he molested 5 girls between the years 2002 to 2003. His show was immediately cancelled and it was named one of the 10 big scandals of 2015 by USA Today. The Washington Post also listed him as one of the, I quote, 15 people the internet hated the most in 2015. Both are lists that you do not want your name on. And probably the sex offenders list also. At number 3 we have Dani Mathers. She is known for starring on TV series like Badass and The Bold and the Beautiful, but she's mainly known for her work as a Playboy model. But both sides to her career came to an end in 2016 after she posted an image of a naked 70-year-old woman at the gym with the caption, "If I can't unsee this, then you can't either." The image immediately got backlash and it resulted in her facing criminal charges. She was fired from her radio show and banned from LA fitness gyms across the US. People were outraged that she would body shame someone like that, especially to an audience as big as hers. Like millions of people saw this woman naked. Later in 2017, she faced the court and pleaded no contest to a charge of invading the woman's privacy. She was fined $1,000 in order to spend a month of doing community service and removing graffiti around Los Angeles. Swiping our number 2 spot is Jared Fogle. Most people will know him as the Subway guy. He was the face of Subway sandwiches after winning a weight loss contest where he said it was with the help of Subway sandwiches. He went on to act in every Subway commercial possible and also appeared in movies like Jack and Jill and Sharknado. But in 2015 it all came tumbling down after he was given a 15-year jail sentence in the Federal Correctional Institution. He pleaded guilty to charges of receiving and distributing child pornography and having sex with a minor. Recent photos surfaced online showing him during one of the prison's graduation ceremonies, and he looks drastically slimmer. It looks like he didn't need those Subway sandwiches after all. That new prison diet does the trick. Earning the number 1 spot on our list is Kevin Spacey. He was starring on the Netflix hit series House of Cards when his career suddenly came to an end after BuzzFeed published an article about him. In October 2017, an allegation made headlines from the actor Anthony Rapp, who claimed that Spacey made a sexual advance towards him when he was just 14 years old. And since then, more than 30 people have come forward with allegations ranging from harassment to attempted rape. Netflix fired him immediately and he also lost his agent and publicist. In December 2018, he was charged with a felony for allegedly sexually assaulting a journalist's 18-year-old son. He pleaded not guilty in January 2019 and the charges were dismissed after a lack of evidence and proof of deleted text messages. His last case was officially closed by the end of 2019 when charges were dropped after one woman died from cancer and another one of his victims committed suicide. It was reported that he paid no money to settle the lawsuit. Well, there you have it guys, that is our top 10 countdown list for today. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments, and while you're doing that, I'm going to shout out some comments from some of my other videos. Dwayne Martin says, "Tried to add you, Joss. I want to talk about acting. Don't be a snob." Hey, just because I can't answer every DM does not mean I'm a snob. I'm very nice. I'm just busy. Cameron Hersey says, "In the movie The Quiet Place, how are they able to plant corn without making a sound?" Plant corn? How was she able to get pregnant? Is what I want to know. Because the act of reproduction is not necessarily a quiet one, if you know what I mean. Just saying. You probably never thought of that, and now you are. James T says, Happy New Year's, Joss! Happy New Year's, everyone! Feels the exact same as last year. Alright guys, that is all I have. Make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. You can also keep watching more of our videos. Just hang out on the screen.